want to make sure that they don't fall for things like this again, and they should be able to force us to game number 3 because the players definitely have the knowledge and the experience. It's all about and the execution as well.
I mean, they didn't have to ban it out. Team Secret just saw some kind of mercy on them. There's like, lads, just save your bans. We will ban the Chow for you. We'll even get rid of Dolia as well. We know you don't like that one. That Season 1 support ban is just not going to happen, but they allow Isurus to pick up the Maya. Again, we saw promising performance from Minginchi in the early game of Game 1, but then obviously kind of came to a falter because he wasn't able to sort of get carried away, get his priority in his lanes, able to sort of like gank further into the enemy territory, because if he tried to gank, Futsu would have just been like, hey, hi, I'm at your higher ground, I'm taking your base, if he didn't do anything. But it looks like they're going for the Lady Sun and the Hino again, so we could see Clash Lane, we could see that jungle Hino come through again.
Yeah, that's the power of this hero. Very flexible, doesn't really reveal a lot of your secrets. The only downside is he doesn't provide any sort of crowd control for his team. He can build the Hoarfrost staff to provide a little bit of slow, but it's not the optimum build for him. So let's see what they're gonna pair with this, because they do need stuns when you're playing with the Mai as well as the Hano, something to set up those skill shots to connect.
Oh yeah, we get the Dun Boy come through again. It seems to be
66% win rate.
It seems to be he just rears his head every series for us. It's kind of like they just know that we just don't want this pick to come through. But hey-o, Team Secret clearly knows something we don't know. But at least they go for something a little bit more conventional down in the farm lane anyway. They go for the DRNG, and then obviously taking Musta's a lane from him, because I thought Musta actually played pretty well if it wasn't for the pressure that we keep alluding to from the Futsu and the Chow. I feel like that Musta could have had a lot more free reign in that game. But again, Zhongfei, Lian Po both being banned, and then the Taiyan and Mutsu being banned on the side of Isurus.
Team Secret picks up the Sun Bin. That's a great counter to both the Lady Sun as well as the Hano. Just the silence, absolutely huge in crucial moments. That also forces Hano to use his ultimate earlier than he would like, just to prevent himself from being silenced. So Ming will be picked up along with a Charlotte. So this is once again a jungle Hano with the Charlotte played in the Clash, or they can switch things up as well. Play the Charlotte in the jungle and play the Hano in the Clash lane.
Yeah, really interesting. I mean, the Charlotte with the Ming. I mean, I'm a little bit more excited with the Ming, especially with the likes of the Lady Sun as well. Again, it could just be a hyper carry scenario we're going to go for. Fingers crossed that Isurus, this is enough for Isurus to win Game 2 against Team Secret. But we did see that Team Secret do pick up that Angela, who has been a very favorable pick recently in any global Honor of Kings esports, it seems, because again, really easy to land combos. The CC comes through, but then she also, if she positions herself very well, she can just sit back, annihilate your squishy heroes, and then the CC immunity for the ultimates that may get pinned onto her is always going to be a good thing, because obviously she's not going to be, I mean, there's not really much CC, but then again, it's just to counter Mai Shiranoi's knock-up, it seems. So again, it just makes her less of a target for Mai.
Yeah, Team Secret have this, looks like they have all the answers they need against the lineup of Isurus, but we've seen Lady Sun not played for the late game. They've been playing the Lady Sun as an aggressive roamer early on, allowing her to snowball. And we might see that in action here as well, because so far, you know, Lady Sun has definitely have 100% win rate, if I'm not mistaken. So these players are definitely adjusting very well.
Yeah, both being played on Zaze and JR of the first 2 series. So yeah, I believe she is sitting on a nice cushiony 100% win rate. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how, I mean, WinRG he used Lady Sun to win with VKS in Season 1, so maybe this would be a good pick for him. Megenshi with these early game rotations, he's so aggressive with it.
That's the Maya for you. You want to be aggressive. You are terrible in clearing the waves, so you want to make that up with causing pressure somewhere else across the map. Yuhan just trying to make sure that Long isn't harassed here. Making sure that they don't steal the jungle buff away from the Dun, which is very important for the early game of that hero, because Dun's early game is atrocious. Oh, they might get a kill here.
Uh-oh, there we go. Muster going back into Muster fashion, picking up the first blood for Isurus. So 2 back-to-back first bloods for this team. Again, showing major promise for them. So I'm rooting for you, boys. I'm rooting for you. Hopefully you can get this into a best of 3, because we love a best of 3. We don't want just 2 zeros all day. We've got 1 best of 3. Let's have another. Let's give me another one. We want the full best of 3 in all of its glory. But yes, that was a fantastic 2v1 there. A nice rotation from Megenshi in the mid lane. And again, don't want to get too far in that one, because the Dun, the Sunbin, and the Direnji is there. But Haino is looking to take a little bit of a beating onto the Dun.
Megenshi just walked past and avoided every single skill shot that went his way with his mobility. So very experienced in that hero. He's going to pop his ultimate now. Hey, no! Getting out! Oof, that was close. That was close. I thought he died at one point.
I thought we was going to get no more escape artistry from that game 1 Main 70s cop chase thing, but there we go. We have it again. Mai was straight to the back of there, trying to take out the Angela, knowing that she didn't have her ult, but Dun shuts down Megenshi. So a great enhanced basic attack there from Dun coming through, and there is a blazing brilliance coming through from Angela, just been able to just sit back, absolute cinema, and just blaze her enemy team.
Yeah, that gives a little bit of footing there for the side of Team Secret, who did fall behind. They did get the blue buff back towards the hands of TNX as well, which is very important. Here comes the Sunbin ultimate, Long dropping down very low, when which is not going to continue on with the pressure.
Yeah, we're not really seeing much potential come from the Ming yet. I'm still waiting for this to go activated and just keep our Lady Sun alive and give more damage and just reduce the damage reduction as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Capox actually adjusts to this hero, because you've just gone from Mutsu, who's just literally stand back, use your first ability, knock back, use your ult, flash in, use your ult. Whereas Ming is a little bit different. You got to kind of try and focus where you want that Ray to go, what kind of buff or debuff you want to be placing going into a team fight. So again, I'm still waiting for the maximum potential to come through from this Ming pick.
The Overlord and Tyrant.
Yeah, Ming does shine a bit more towards the late game. Early game, he's just sort of there to protect his carry. And oh, here TNX that's caught out there by Azri, and he's down very low. He needs to pop his ultimate right about. Nope, too early. He's definitely more patient than I am. I would have popped it like 10 seconds ago just to make sure I'm not that low. But he knows the limit of his hero, and that's why he's playing there, and I'm watching him play.
Absolutely, yeah, that's why we're sat where we are and he's on the stage. But first, Tyrant does go over to Isurus, so again, already an improvement on game 1. They were able to take a first jungle objective again, and they're able to take the first turret as well, so this is a good turnaround. This is surely a good sign of the times that we could potentially be getting an Isurus game 2 victory from the boys.
This was the same situation that Team Secret was in, and they still managed to find a way back. But this is on a different, completely different composition. Now they have a Dun as their jungle, and as expected, TNX is not having a great time on that Dun. If you look at his net worth, it's absolutely atrocious. 2.6 thousand compared to the Heino on a 3.2 thousand as well, and he's gonna start falling off very soon.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. We want him to just keep going, keep doing it. Mai with the double knock there. Oh, okay, Sunbin almost getting caught out. Still chance for it to get caught out. Oh, yes, the ultimate shell coming through from Lady Sun, placing it right onto Sunbin's noggin, but here's done. Here's the Renji and Angela all coming in with a blazing brilliance, but Hainu from behind as well, looking to try and take him out. Can we stop the recall there in the teleport mechanic? Oh, wow.
They did manage to get a kill on turret's Catbox, but TNX had to pay with his life. Who was that used the teleport? Was it Xuan that just teleported towards the bottom lane to with that mechanism to escape? So that was good use of it. Another showcase of how we can utilize that as well.
Oh yes, I mean it definitely played its dividends there within that last little interaction up in the Clash lane. However, he could get caught out here. It's a 3v1, but is he going to be a slippery devil and actually be able to call back? He is! Oh my gosh. That ultimate is just a little bit too close for comfort for me. I would be just full of anxiety before pressing that button. Like, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Just completely detach my hands from my mobile phone. But again, we are still seeing Isurus. They seem to have this MO that they have a great early game. The mid game is not looking as sort of convincing, but they're still managing to stay ahead. I mean, the gold is just about 4k gold difference. They're only ahead by 1 kill, but however, they have a major priority in these lanes. The side lanes both losing their first tier turret, and they're able to pick up one of the jungle objectives as well. So Tyrant has been taken, but the Overlord has been left in its own corner. And the second tier turret goes down in the farm lane. This is a much better performance and a much better draft, it seems, for Isurus.
Yep, 4,000 net worth lead in 7 minutes. Not insurmountable, but definitely not a position you want to be in if you are Team Secret. Definitely a position you want to be in if you're Isurus. But we haven't seen the DRNG really join in these fights, and he's reaching his critical mass very soon. So that's gonna be where the next few fights are gonna be very important for the side of Team Secret.
Yes, sir. Team Secret looking a little bit shaky, I'd say, even though the mid game is looking shaky for Isurus. Looking a little bit better after taking that second tier turret, though, in the farm lane, giving some great pressure on these side lanes. We have Muster already trying to focus that Clash lane, but absolutely perfect. Blazing brilliance from Angela. We have a Death on Sunset come through. There is the flash coming through as well. Oh my days, he was committed to the kill in the mid lane on the side of Team Secret.
Shen definitely making up for the lackluster early game, and the perfect ultimate there by Yuhan was able to stop Azri from being able to use his ultimate. And we were talking about how Sunbin is a good counter to the towards the Heino. That is exactly the situation where he's just the counter to it.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we've seen Dunn actually go for the jungle objective. He actually's gone for, I believe that's Intimidate rather than Smite, which is really interesting to see that there is no Smite on the side of Team Secret.
It could be a mistake because there's not really a situation where you want to intimidate over the Smite if you're playing on the jungle role. So that might come back to haunt them. You know, if we ever get a post-game interview, I hope that Choo Choo is able to ask him that, if that was intentional or was that a mistake. But I'm leaning more towards that not being intentional at the moment. Here we see the Charlotte being chased down, but not enough lockdown to stop her from backing off.
Yes, I mean, we just assume that the junglers have Smite, so I didn't even check until then. I was just like, wait, what? There's no Smite on the Dun? But speaking of Schmitten, we have the Death on Sunset, and it's not going to be enough. We see the Lady Sun is dealing so much damage right now within these team fights. Haino with that obnoxious poking onto the DRNG as well. So already a 1-0 trade onto the side of Isurus right now. The Overlord is up for grabs as well because they aren't going to be able to crucial kill theft it. There is no Smite. They would have to be absolute perfection with the last hits from any of the side of Team Secret right now. But again, that Overlord does go down, so that's going to be a great pickup here for the side of Isurus, hopefully getting the win in Game 2 Dunn and Charlotte going head-to-head here, but Stun's like, nah, there's only so much damage that I can actually withstand. I'm going to get out the jump out the frying pan before I get put into the oven by Charlotte.
Yeah, man, without the smite, that was just a right-click battle, and obviously Dunn doesn't do the best right-click. Oh, backlines dropping very low, but Shen barely managed to survive through all of that. And they did manage to take the tier 2 tower, at least from the side of Isurus, but it's still a 4,000 net worth lead. Team Secret is managing to stabilize at the moment despite losing more objectives, and it is going to come down to the next fight, especially around this this Tyrant. Team Secret needs to take this fight.
Yeah, I mean, if that Tyrant goes over to the side of Isurus, that's just going to pump more fuel into the Lady Sun. I mean, she's already ahead by 1.2k gold ahead of the enemy DRNG.
So, silence.
Again, that is almost half an item. Charlotte almost getting caught out there, but was able to dash out and dodge all those attacks from the Angela. It just means that both of these teams are all in it to win it. They could all potentially go for the Tyrant, but there is a lot of focus onto the Hino. They're able to just win him down, but they're also going to take down the Dunn as well. Crucial engage from the Renji, but Lady Sun picking up another kill. That means more gold over to the late game Lady S, that is Lady Sun. She is going to be almost at critical mass, I would say, very soon, because she is quite far ahead of the Derenji right now. I mean, Derenji managed to get the kill, though, onto the Hino, so it could be not as far as we think it is.
Yeah, the Lady Sun is already critting for nearly 2,000 damage, but Sun is also looking like he's ready to fight. He has all his brawling items ready to go. So, very crucial kill on towards the Hino. I'll be more than happy to trade my Dunn for the Hino any time of the day, and twice on Sundays as well. So, still a 4,000 lead for Isurus, but the lead hasn't grown, which is showing something. No smite.
Yeah, no, this Tyrant fight is giving me much uncomfortable second-hand anxiety right now. It's just too close to call. There's just so many skills that's been thrown over to the Tyrant, but it does go over to the side of Isurus. And I think they're going to need this because they're behind in the kills. Their gold difference is not as confident as it used to be within the fight. The 13 minutes in, on the way to that 14-minute mark. They just need to push these lanes, get some of them super minions, just so they've got a little bit more oomph in those minion waves when it comes through to the next few minutes.
And they're trying to push this high ground down to half health. The Hino really poking and prodding from the low ground. That's the strength of this hero. He can be a brawler, he can go close range, but he can also chip away at you from a very far range. And Azrael has had a fantastic game for both series so far. And if this ever goes to game number 3, we might just see it banned away from the side of Isurus. Oh, engagement, silence coming through,
but it looks like it's going to get stopped. Yep, the Death on Sunset comes through to the back line, but it's not going to be enough. They do not take any kills. Neither team take any kills. Dunn looking very low in the health, though. They may, however, take this higher ground turret. They do. So, again, that is at detriment to Team Secret right now because they weren't able to pick anybody off, but they were losing and lacking a higher ground turret now. Again, the Shadow Overlord is up. Is that going to be Team Secret's next point of call? Because if it goes over to the side of Isurus, I feel like this could just be the nail in the coffin for game 2.
Yeah, they need to take this fight and take it very convincingly for the side of Team Secret, because now they're down 5,000. The lead has grown once again. The Lady Sun is at critical mass. No more item slots for her. The only way to upgrade is to sell the boots and get like a Sage's Sanctuary or something to make sure that she doesn't die towards the late game stages of this game. And the DRNG isn't quite there yet. He still has one more item slot to fulfill. Without the smite, I don't see a chance for them to steal it. Azrael will get the last hit on it, and Team Secret will have just wasted their time over there.
Yes, what a waste of time indeed. I mean, it's only a matter of time, it seems, until they can clear out one of these waves and just try and push this crystal, because again, it just seems that the only thing that's really stopping the full front of Assault is this Angela pick, because it's really been the anchor for the team of on the side of Team Spirit, shall I say, because she's just able to sit back, just unleash that blazing brilliance and just do so much damage. And by the time you've even got in there, you just most of your team, most of your front line is just demolished. And I think if it weren't for her, that Hainu probably would have survived more times than none, but don't want to knock up. They are focusing the Hainu, not quite being able to kill the Hainu there. So Ezreal actually has to keep alive, soaking so much more damage. But is this going to be the comeback for Team Secrets? They take down WinRG as well. They've got to be careful. They do not want to get any sort of minion wave in their favor, like that farm lane, because even though it's 1 minion, the Vanguard has just demolished it, but it was 1 minion that they could have just pushed through to these turrets to get at least the second tier turret in the farm lane. Cyrus looking a bit shaky now, a bit of stumbling onto the ropes.
Yeah, Shen just took too long to be brought down, and his ultimate landed on 5, allowing Team Secret to take the first favorable team fight of the entire game, allowing him to close out the gap down to 3,000 as well. And this late game Tyrant might just be what Team Secret needs to take the next fight. But their base, they have to watch out for that.
Imagine if that was the loss that Team Secret had. That would be a blemish, surely, right? But no, Angela securing the Tyrant there. So the Shadow Tyrant going over to the side of Team Secret without any of the smites needed. She was just able to just close it with those high damage abilities. Again, this is going to be a lot harder for Osiris, because if they just had that team fight and Hainu was able to stay alive for a considerable amount of time, that Shadow Tyrant is going to make that whole difference when Hainu tries to go for an engage this time around, because they're going to have more power. They're going to have that chain lightning effect as well, so they got to watch out. Osiris got to tread carefully into this next team fight.
Yeah, position-wise, they are in a good position to try and hold on to this. Team Secret are a bit spread out, lane towards the right side, trying to find an angle from behind. He finds the Charlotte, not really be able to lock her down, but Team Secret will be able to take that tier 2 tower, and they're going to back off for now, push out the side waves, and go for another objective once they respawn. Elaine still in the fight. They've been at it for the longest of time. Elaine is at his critical mass as well. He's very tanky. He's not afraid of any sort of fight. Team Secret fishing to get a pick off here. They do knock up the Haino, but Haino is still in a good, healthy position, and he's not going to be in any danger whatsoever.
Yeah, Team Secret got to be careful though. Those two side lanes looking pretty healthy in terms of those minions, whereas Elaine has gone to meet it, and Muster has gone to push that farm lane one as well. So even though they have, they had the Tyrant, sorry, it's pretty much gone now. There is no more Tyrant buff for the side of Team Secret, but that I feel like they probably should have just like left those 4v5 to fight, and then maybe trying to send Muster or Lady Sun down into one of those side lanes just to try and push it and push it a bit further to the crystal, just apply some more pressure, because now there's no pressure to be had right now, because the minion waves are met 0 and 0. And the Shadow Overlord's up, so if they had a little bit more pressure on these side lanes, that Shadow Lord could have been an easy takedown for Osiris, but unfortunately there's just been no more pressure given to the side lanes.
Yeah, Isurus not really playing the map very well in this late game stage. Maybe afraid of being picked off at this point, but you know, sometimes to win you have to make these game-winning plays, take these risks in order to be able to win. Sun in the front line, soaking a lot of damage there from Azray. TNX in the middle of everybody. I will have to be forced to back off. Again, no smite. I wonder if Isurus Gaming knows that there's no smite on this dun. Knock
yeah,
up.
I mean, you kind of hope so, right? They gotta be careful. Oh, the timer goes off. A little bit of a wasted journey there. But Elaine is looking to push that minion wave down into the farm lane. They gotta be careful, because that is some extra pressure that Osiris do not need, because they crumble currently at the best of times. So having that pressure into the side lane is definitely something that would make, like Muster is doing right here, peel off from that whole team fight as well. So again, they had to get Muster out of there. They're going to lose that second tier turret as well, unfortunately, for the side of Osiris.
Yeah, net worth is basically even at the moment. Tempest Dragon has spawned. Team Secret is in a better position. Charlotte is not here. If they take a 4 versus 5 now and Charlotte doesn't push all the way, do they catch out the Haino? No, the silence comes through, but he's able to back away just in time. So Team Secret uses one ultimate already this early on. They weren't able to catch off the Haino, and they have had to take this fight a lane without a lane as well, because a lane is forced back to try and defend the base.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this 1v1 against Elaine and Charlotte there. I mean, that was a good push for Muster, though, to be honest, after the on-broadcast criticism of him not putting enough pressure in those side lanes. He's still going to go for it, even though he has no minions to sort of push or get into the crystal if he ever does even get there. But it's keeping Elaine a little bit close, a bit further away from the team fight, which I think is probably the overall goal here for Isurus in Game 2. They have the minion wave there. They've now had to force Elaine to go and stop it, because if they don't, that crystal would go down. Charlotte is able to pick up that Sage buff as well, so we could be seeing Charlotte coming back onto the fight here. There's not much damage being done onto the side of Team Secret, but she does have a way in. Okay. Hino goes back. Dunn is at the front of the queue to soak in so much damage, but now Elaine is back into it. They had a window of opportunity to do something, but now Elaine is back into the team fight.
And the silence was just so clutch. They almost had enough damage to bring down the Hano. The Tempest Dragon taking a bit of time. They do see the HP. Long is in position, try and go for the steal. Can he get it? No, he cannot. Asher will get the last hit. Oh, and Tien has to back off, pop the ultimate, but here comes the Charlotte towards the back line, doing so much damage. Sun doing a lot of damage of his own. There goes the Sage Sanctuary. Sun has to back off. Sun still alive, still fighting. One more right click, not enough. Muster still alive. Sun trying to continuously do damage to get one kill. That's going to be on the win RJ. That's huge. That's all your damage from the side of ISG. And Team Secret somehow, despite all the everything that's going against them, managed to take the fight and defend their base at the same time.
A 22-minute match, Zero. Did you think this would happen in day 1 of the Season 2 Invitational? Because I didn't. I didn't see this coming, but now, I mean, how many Tempest Dragons are we going to see? Is this going to be the only one, or are we going to be in store for more? But 35 seconds is still on the board for ISG's Tempest Dragon. Will they do or have enough time to actually utilize this? Elaine's already caught out in a 2v1 here. We see that Angela's trying to rotate. Death on Sunset just trying to keep himself alive a little bit longer. It manages to do so, but as Ray does not want to recall back onto that spot there, because he would just get caught out by the Dunn. He doesn't know that Dunn is there. He's got to be careful. There is a lot of red side team floating around as Ray right now, as we see that Muster is trying to force some sort of macro play up into the top lane, and also the mid lane looking to try and take that all-important mid-high ground turret for the final time. And they do. They manage to wipe out all the higher ground turrets, but Dunn is straight into it. Angela just dealing so much damage. Team Secret might just be able to bounce back off the rope. Sage Sanctuary coming through from Ming, and Muster is able to deliver the Tempest Dragon to the crystal, but is it going to be enough?
Nah, they're not going to continue on this, but the damage, the knockout from Dunn, I mean, sure, TNX had a terrible game. He had everything stacked up against him, even probably the wrong common skill, but somehow managed to find the perfect engagement, paired up with Shu, and the knockup sets them up for the kill. The silence once again, oh, the Purify had to be used there by Muster to get out of there.
Just look how low that crystal is on the minimap, man. It's now regaining health. That was probably the only opportunity, the only window that Isurus had into that victory of Game 2. We may not even see a Game 3. It just all depends how they navigate around this Tempest Dragon, because again, up in 27 seconds is the second Tempest Dragon of the match. We are 24 minutes in, guys. The rest of the games have been much quicker than this. So what makes this one so special? Probably the lack of smite from Dunn.
And also, Team Secret's late game control, the late game strategy seems to be a lot better than Muster. They seem to be able to hold on to terrible starts and still manage to come back towards the late game. Team Secret doesn't feel like a team that you want to play against in the late game, because their engagements, despite being, what, 6,000, 7,000 behind previously, they are now ahead in gold once again.
Yeah, I think this is the difference between like a lot of the Western teams and the Southeast Asian teams, is that Western teams generally crumble at the late game, whereas C teams generally thrive. And speaking of thrive, that Sunset Death on Sunset comes through for the Elaine, but it's not going to be enough for WinRG to stay alive. Muster is going to be the last shining hope. It looks he's just trying to do his muster MO, which is just push a lane, and hopefully they can get some sort of backdoor. We said that Mai Shirino is being caught out in the jungle there. They know that she is on the way to the crystal. We have Mai here as well as Muster. Is it going to be enough damage? Sage Sanctuary coming through for Charlotte, and I think it's going to be enough damage. No, there's no minions.
Not
There's
enough.
no minions. They're not going to be able to do it. What? Oh, Isurus with the second win, with the opportunity of a lifetime, is not going to do it. They're just not going to do it, unfortunately. There is 3 of them in the mid lane right now, and I feel like that is going to be Team Secret's ticket into a 2-0 victory. Unfortunately.
I mean, Long just read that so well. Before anyone even showed up in the map, he was already teleporting back to base to prepare for the defense. And oh my, Team Secret against all odds will take... Well, no, not yet. Oh, a little bit too early. Sun's gonna fall. Azrael still fighting. There's no creeps. Azrael, can he survive? He does still have his Sage of Sanctuary. They're going straight for the win. And again, Team Secret somehow, against all odds, will be able to take the win and take this series 2-0.
Yep, after a final bastion of aggression there in the Crystal, unfortunately, they weren't able just to take the win. They had so many opportunities on the side of Isurus Gaming. It just wasn't enough to take the victory in Game 2. So, unfortunately, 0, we're not going to get that second best of 3 that we thought we were getting. Team Secret just coach battering one of their players. Like, why did it take so long?
Nah, he was bashing 10x, so that is probably because of the smite. That is definitely